It's an NFL South crossover episode. Both these teams crossing continents for this one, NFL Berlin style.
Yes, this is Munich singing John Denver as one.
And one of these two will cross back over to Dub Country when it's over. The Atlanta Falcons coming up just short versus New England Week 9, taking on the Indianapolis Colts overseas, who just had their 4-game win streak snapped.
Jones intercepted! Joey Porter Jr. says good night.
There's some simplicity to all this with the Colts. They're 7-2 now. 29-plus points in each of their wins. Both losses, offense only able to muster 20.
Let's take a listen. Oh, yeah, golly.
Lost both their games 27-20 actually. Both losses, the only two games, Daniel looked more Danny Dimes and not so much Indiana Jones. He threw 2 INTs, an 80 rate in their loss to the Rams, 3 INTs, a 63 rate in their loss to Pittsburgh.
They'll throw it, intercepted! It's picked off by Wilson!
Jones with a 100-plus rate in each of their 7 wins. Take it a step further. His season rate is 101, but versus the blitz, it drops to 93. That's relevant this week because no team has been sending 5-plus more often this year than Atlanta. It helped them sack Drake May last week 6 times.
Scooped up by Pierce on the return, and Campbell trips him up.
Jones threw 50 times a week ago, sacked 5 times in the process, most he's taken this season.
Recover the ball. The holy trifecta for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Atlanta's ability to get to May didn't translate to great defense or pass defense, though. They gave up a 102 rate to May, 250-plus yards, almost 9 yards per attempt, and 2 TDs.
And look where Drake May has time to not only survey the field, but step up and find Pop Douglas.
Falcons secondary holding quarterbacks to an 88 rating in 2025, but have struggled their last 2 outings, in which their defense has given up 24-plus points back-to-back games, 24 to New England, 8 for 12 on 3rd down, 3 for 4 in the red zone.
May over the middle, he's got Hunter Henry, turns it upfield and picks up the first down.
51 yards allowed to tight end Hunter Henry last week, 38 yards and a TD to Stephon Diggs, 100 yards and a touchdown to Demario Douglas. Jones still threw for 342 yards versus Pittsburgh. Josh Downs, 57 yards and a score.
Open man is Downs for the score. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Downs with a TD in 3 straight. Michael Pittman, 9 catches, 115 yards versus the black and gold.
Hits the open man, Michael Pittman. First down, Indianapolis.
And Alec Pierce with 115 yards, his first 100-yard game.
Yeah, Alec Pierce is one of those deep threats where he has the speed to do it down the field.
DJ wasn't the only Colt to flame out versus Pittsburgh. JT with just 45 yards, a season low. Jonathan Taylor, 3.2 a carry.
And then driven backwards. No gain on the play.
Atlanta held New England's backs under 4 per run, brought their season number versus running backs down to 4.3. Not great, but better than the league average of 4.4.
Gets right by Mac Hollins, gets in the backfield, and comes up with a tackle for a loss.
Atlanta's own star running back also comes in off a subpar game as a runner. Bijan Robinson, only 46 yards last week, 3.8 a carry.
Robinson couldn't see it, pointing up at the sun, and it's 4th down.
Bijan has struggled in 3 straight, toking it after he hit Buffalo with 170, less than 47 yards in 3 straight, less than 4 yards per carry 3 straight. Atlanta 23 points in their Week 9 loss. Dang kicker, or would have been 24 and who knows how much more, but the 1 for 10 showing on 3rd down has to be fixed too.
Throws and completes it, but well short of a first down.
Overall, Atlanta has only passed the 24-point marker twice in 8 games. Indy's defense, they just gave up 27 to Pittsburgh.
Catch, turn, touchdown, Fryer move.
Got some butts here, not as many as a Nicky vid, but their own offense giving the ball up 6 times tilted things. They held Pittsburgh to 4 for 12 on 3rd down, stopped half of the 6 red zone trips they faced, held Aaron Rodgers to 203 yards, just 5.8 yards per attempt.
So it sets up a 3rd and long now for Pittsburgh. 9:20 mark of the second quarter.
And now they have sauce they can pour onto London, if he's healthy anyway. Colts shocking the NFL world this week, trading for Gardner. Hasn't been as locked down as normal, but Indianapolis is banking big that he will return to form with a shoe on his helmet.
DK Metcalf matched up with Sauce Gardner.
They're holding quarterbacks to an 87 rating, so right next door to Atlanta. They dropped Rodgers 3 times, only a handful of teams with more than their 26 sacks.
Rodgers on a 3rd and 11 will take the sack.
They unleash all that on Michael Penix. He only took 1 sack on 37 pass attempts versus New England, returned from a 1-week absence due to an injury, came back to throw 3 touchdowns without being picked off, a nice 103 rating.
Trying a deep shot, looking for London. Flag is down. London makes the catch.
Only the second game with a 100-plus rate, only 6 yards per attempt last week too. Colts DBs held DK Metcalf to 2 catches, 6 yards. 56 yards given up to Calvin Austin, held everyone else under 45 yards. Drake London is Penix's go-to, of course, went to him for all 3 of his touchdowns, 118 yards.
If he actually brought this one in, 1 foot 2. Wow.
That's a C-Note plus in 3 of Drake's last 4 now, touchdowns in 3 of his last 4 too. Kyle Pitts 38 yards versus the Pats, Darnell Mooney 15. Bijan had trouble low, but 50 yards up high at least.
Penix, oh what a catch with one hand! Bijan Robinson!
And as for when Robinson runs, Colts held Jalen Warren to a paltry 1.9 a carry on 16 tries, now holding backs to 3.9 for the year.
He knew exactly what play was going to be run and made the most out of it.
Kinda odd, this is one of the more lopsided matchups in NFL lore. The Colts have played the Falcons 18 times and won 15 of them. They took the first 10 in a row. It took until 1998 for Atlanta to finally get on the board.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I know I'm hungry.
Guys, let's lay it on the line. Next play is the biggest play of the game. Let's get it done. Let's win this thing on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And a week later, after shaking off injuries, quarterback Chris Chandler didn't miss a step and threw for a season-high 297 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Colts.
Jamal still on his feet trying to get some extra yardage.
Header as Chandler and the Falcons build their record to 11-2. 2 years ago, 3-13 was this team.
New York Giants hit the road trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They're in Chicago to take on the Bears, winners of 5 of their last 6. Whatever you do, don't ever turn off a Bears game, no matter what it might look like.
Loveland bangs off his man! He's gonna score! Oh my!
Bears fan I know said he felt comfortable enough to move on with his day when Chicago was up 14 points with 2:46 to play and just picked off Joe Flacco to seal the game, quote unquote, only to look at his phone later and wonder what happened. Wasn't even sure how to feel after seeing them come back to win it, as he was so emotionally in shock. But whatever, here they are at 5-3, playing a 2-win Giants team missing 2 of its 3 key offensive players. Caleb Williams coming in off a 280-yard 3 TD outing, 114 rate, over 8 yards per attempt, even caught a TD pass. Career best game.
Moore is going to toss it and into the end zone to a wide open Williams.
Caleb's best 2 2025 games versus Cincinnati and Dallas. Chicago's best 2 offensive showings in those same games. 31 points versus Dallas, 47 versus Cincinnati, 8 for 15 on third down, 4 for 6 in the red zone versus the Bengals.
Misdirection. This is Zacchaeus, finds the edge. Zacchaeus lunging.
Cowboys and Bungles secondary found at the bottom in rating allowed, and they are the only two defenses giving up 30-plus points in 2025. But still, only 5 teams are scoring more than Chicago this season, and the Giants defense they get next just gave up 34 points to a backup QB-led offense, giving up 27 points per game for the year, which is in the same neighborhood as Cincinnati and Dallas.
And the call here, Pooney with a block, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown.
Williams squaring off with the secondary, giving up a 96 rating after allowing Mac Jones to hit them with a 135 rate off the back of 2 touchdowns, 235 yards, 9.8 per attempt, no picks.
Watch the release to the inside, then stop and exit back out. Easy completion.
Williams took 2 sacks, only lost 9 yards, 34 pass attempts, no big. Giants with 2 Mac bags. Brian Burns with his league-leading 11th sack streak at 4 games in a row, 1 or more sack in 8 of 9 now.
Here they come. Burns the hit, fluttering ball intercepted.
Only 2 49ers pass catchers ding New York for 40-plus receiving yards, 41 and a touchdown allowed to Jawan Jennings, 67 yards and a TD to CMC, who also got them for 106 rush yards and a touchdown on the down low.
Well, they've been doing it both on the ground and in the air. Going to have to see this Giants defense maybe take some more chances here.
To be fair, they held McCaffrey to 3.8 a run, faced 28 of his rush attempts. Now they take on Kyle Monangai and or DeAndre Swift. He missed last week hurt, probably wants to get back out there quick. Monangai blew up for 176 yards, 6.8 a carry in his stead.
Can they lean on this ground attack? Monangai, sensational right from the start.
And New York has to worry about Williams when they can't track him down. He took off 5 times for 53 yards, picked up some big first downs.
Williams again under duress. Gonna run for it.
So, 280 passing yards, 53 rushing yards, and 22 receiving yards off 2 receptions. Chicago's normal pass catchers, Olamide Zacchaeus, 58 yards versus Cincinnati, he scored.
Williams throws a lightning bolt to Zacchaeus.
DJ Moore threw the TD pass to Caleb, also pulled in 72 yards.
End around, it's DJ Moore. He's got Loveland blocking. Moore!
And the guy Bears fans really wanted to see break out, Colston Loveland, the top 10 pick, finally got to see tight end 1 action after Cole Kmet left hurt. The big game winner was part of a 118-yard 2-score day.
To the end zone, Loveland for the Chicago touchdown.
Can New York keep up on offense if needed? 24 points versus San Francisco, 7 when it didn't matter, but 24 is 24 and it's a solid-ish number. More than their season average. Jackson Dart did everything he could versus the Niners. He's looked good considering the losses they've suffered. 2 touchdowns, no picks, a 107 rate as a passer last week.
Into the defense of Lenore, and he dives. It is a touchdown.
Plus, Chicago's defense just gave up 42 points to a Joe Flacco-led offense. Almost choked as bad as you can, letting him drive down the field twice with minutes to play. Gave up 470 yards and 4 touchdowns to him, a fat 10 yards per attempt.
Flacco puts some air under it far side. Higgins, just crazy catch.
Yes, they did pick him off twice too, but only 3 teams giving up more points per game than Chicago. 121 yards and 2 touchdowns given up to T. Higgins, 111 to Jamar Chase, 66 to Andre Yoshivas, 42 to Tanner Houston, 75 to running back Chase Brown. Giants don't have a pass-catching stable like that. Wan'Dale Robinson, 46 yards versus San Francisco.
1st and 10, Robinson and a pickup of 8 on first down.
Led them with 11 targets, 9 catches, so lots of short stuff. Darius Slayton, 5 catches, 62 yards.
Down the field they go. Here's Slayton.
Dart only took 2 sacks on 33 pass attempts, used his legs to escape danger again, 56 rush yards and a TD.
Dart here, Singletary a block, that's a touchdown. Jackson Dart.
Chicago caught up with Flacco 3 times. That's a mildly big deal for a team that's averaged less than 2 a game. Montez Sweat with a sack in his 3rd straight, though.
Flacco never had a chance. 3rd sack.
Bears front handled Cincinnati's run game fine, 46 yards, 3.1 a carry.
Back to the ground game with Brown, like a pinball bouncing off Chicago defenders.
Still allowing over 5 a carry to runners. Aside from Dart, they'll be dealing with Devin Singletary and Tyrone Tracy. Singletary more effective last week with 43 yards on 5.4 a carry.
And this is the elusive Singletary. You got a block in there by Robinson.
Bears and Giants have played each other since 1925. Played for the title game multiple times back in the day. Any of you attend the Sneakers game? First playoff meeting in the Super Bowl era, 1985 season.
Smart, let's go down. Let's pin him in, let the defense go to work.
Landetta from his end zone. Bears will get good field position.
Oh, he missed it!
This is the football.
He missed
it's
it!
It's on the field. Touchdown.
All right!
He missed the ball. Maybe it was the wind in Soldier Field. Maybe it was the gods above. I don't know what it was.
He and Phil Simms had something going on. The rest of the game, Richard was after him. Richard went after him with a passion.
The snap to McMahon. He pop flies the right side of the end zone for McMahon.
Touchdown!
Great catch for the touchdown!
Great catch!
McMahon back to throw, pitches the right side. McMahon
He's got
to the 5 down.
All right!
Tampa Bay Buccaneers rested up and at home to get their second half of the year going. They are playing in the Bradkowski Bowl. New England Patriots roll into town on a 6-game winning streak.
They are throwing. May to the outside. Got a man. First down. Henry inbounds. And that will do it.
I hope Bruce Gradkowski shows up too. Pat sitting on top of the AFC East still, looking for their 7th straight win. Drake May looking for his 9th straight 100-plus rate game.
May steps up, fires, looking for Douglas. Got him! Demario Douglas still on his feet at the 20.
Last week's triple-digit outing was a little bit of a scuffle too, but even when he scuffles, 2 TDs, a 102 rating, close to 9 yards per attempt, 250-plus yards versus an Atlanta secondary, number 1 in passing yards per game allowed. Helped the Patriots go 8 for 12 on 3rd down. They put up a respectable 24 points, 5th time with 24-plus points in their last 6.
May looking his way, trying to connect with Douglas. Got him! Touchdown!
The Bucs defense, May and company draw this week, 22 points per game allowed, middle of the pack on 3rd down, not elite, but 12 turnovers in 8 games, and they've made reaching the red zone difficult. Walter Socek out there for them. It's about drawing a line in the sand. Across this line, you do not, dude.
Oh, wow! It's picked off and taken into the end zone for a touchdown by Anthony Nelson.
Bucs secondary Drake faces does not have sparkling digits. 91 rate allowed to quarterback, 7.3 yards per attempt allowed, but Drake may want to avoid Jamel Dean like he's KDOT. Dean with 3 INTs, 6 passes defensed, and a ridiculously low 26 rating allowed, no one holding targets to a lower figure.
Pass picked off! Jamel Dean who takes it all the way back for a Bucs touchdown.
Does he cover Stephon Diggs? He scored versus Atlanta, 38 yards. Or Demario Douglas, who scored with 100 yards.
Taking a shot along the sideline for Douglas. And a great adjustment by Douglas to come back for the ball.
May has to take a booty break. Kayshawn hurt his hamstring last week. Hunter Henry, the only other pass catcher with 40-plus yards, 51 on 4 receptions.
Henry turns it upfield and picks up the first down. Goes for 14.
Then there's the pass rush sitch. Keep an eye on this matchup. Bucs pass rush, 25 sacks. A nice high sack rate. Yaya Diaby with a team-high 4 bags. They have 12 guys with 1+ sacks.
2nd down and 2. Rattler under pressure. And down he goes.
May has taken 4+ sacks in 4 of their last 5 games. He took 6 to Atlanta. Left guard Jared Wilson gave up 3. Rookie left tackle Will Campbell gave up 2 after giving up 3 the week before. Those 2 guys have given up 6 each over their last 3 games.
May, pressure coming. He lost the football. It's free. Scooped up by Pierce.
Along the ground, Travion Henderson, 55 yards last week, 3.9 a run. Terrell Terrell Jennings filled in as the running back roommate. Ramondre Stevenson had a toe injury. Jennings, 35 yards, only 3.2 a run, but he scored.
Jennings again trying to get in, and that is his first NFL touchdown.
You can give the Bucks the Henry, the Chrissy, or the Remy, but when the Pats run, Busta will tell you, pass them the Servassier. Dennis with a team-high 7 tackles for loss, 59 wrap-ups. Tampa holding running backs to 3.9 a carry.
Oh, they're waiting for him, waiting for McCaffrey. Dennis.
Bucks hope the time off re-energizes Baker and the offense. He and the O both had a tough time their last 2 games. Constant lineup changes didn't help. Mayfield had MVP vibes first 6 or so weeks of the year. 13 touchdowns, only 2 picks for the season.
Going for a big ball. Down the field. He's got an open target. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Then, sub-81 rate games his last 2. Offense under 24 points in both those games. 25 plus the previous 4. 24 points a game, their average for the season.
It's Tucker, and he is stopped. 4 straight run plays from the 1-yard line.
Stacked against a Patriots defense that held Atlanta to 23, so only one team to go for 24 or more against them, 1 for 10 on 3rd down against Atlanta.
Penix fires for London, broken up on the play, and guess who? Christian Gonzalez.
Mayfield gets a secondary that gave up 3 touchdowns to Michael Penix, didn't pick him off. 221 yards, a 103.5 rating allowed. Only sacked him once on 37 pass attempts.
And did he bring it in? Yes! Drake London with the hat trick.
They did hold Penix to 6 yards per attempt, made him grind at least, but gave up 118 yards and 3 TD passes to Drake London. They don't have to worry about Mike Evans, probably not Chris Godwin, he's only played 2 games, and last we checked, Bucky Irving either. He wasn't trending to play either. He's second on the team in receiving yards per game, not to mention his prowess along the ground. So it's more Sterling Shepard, 34 yards per game so far, Cade Otton, 33 per, Tez Johnson, 30 a game, and Emeka Egbuka leading the way with 70 yards per contest, 5 scores.
As Mayfield fires, it is caught. Egbuka makes the catch, first down yardage.
Mayfield sacked about 2 times a game, not bad considering only left guard Ben Bredesen and center Graham Barton have been healthy the whole time, which has made it hard for their run game, as has Bucky's absence, but the team with a meager 3.8 per run, Rachaad White just 3.7 a carry.
They go back to White. Oh, did he get it? He did not.
Pats held Bijan Robinson in check as a runner, gave up 50 yards to him as a receiver, but 46 yards, 3.8 per try down low.
Robinson takes the pitch, running right, not much there.
These two have one thing in common, of course. Both are big fans of nip and tuck. Maybe it's the show or maybe it's a person in this case. You tell me. New England took the first 3 meetings between the two after Tampa hit the scene in 1976, didn't play each other once from 1977 to 1984, and no meetings between 1989 and 1996. Kind of weird. So first Bucks win over the Pats didn't happen until 1997.
The Tampa Bay defense simply didn't allow the Patriots to run the ball. New England couldn't pass either, thanks to constant pressure on Drew Bledsoe.
Can't play soft. We just got to go make tackles, but don't give them anything big. We don't give anything big, maybe we'll get a heck of a win today, okay?
Bledsoe was sacked 5 times, threw 2 interceptions, and was held to 117 yards. Once again, the Bucs defense had shut down one of the league's best offenses.
That's a good job. Let's remember why we did this. All right, baby. Keep working our butts off. Keep this thing going. Good job.
SoCal, NoCal, round 2. Lots on the line still, both teams with 6 wins. Rams heading north on I-5 for this clash, as fresh as you can be off back-to-back bye weeks.
Third and goal, fake to Williams, Stafford to the end zone, wide open!
So much for making them earn it.
What's that you say they did play? Oh, okay, they warmed up for this one playing New Orleans. But hey, San Francisco didn't take out the Urbania Cowboys or anything. Even the little Giants are healthier than the real ones, so let's call it even Steven on the prep work each did last week.
And the call here, Pooney with a block, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown.
The big question for this matchup, will Brock Purdy reclaim San Francisco's offensive steering wheel? There was a belief he will, which would send Mac Jones back to the bench, but maybe LA wants that. Remember, he was the one that beat them in OT back in Week 5. Jones with 340-plus yards, 2 touchdowns. Kendrick Bourne went off for 142 yards. Defense made some huge stops late to send it to OT, where the Niners took it.
I think he's short. It is all over. The 49ers have won it.
Jones put up a 135 rate last week, 235 yards, close to 10 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They didn't stop throwing with Purdy sidelined, so that's a fairly accurate representation of what their passing attack can be.
Right on the money again. The terrific throw on 2nd and 8, picking up 20.
Niners offense hung 34 points on the Giants, 6 for 11 on 3rd down, 4 for 5 in the red zone.
12th play of the drive, McCaffrey touchdown.
34 points, their season high. The 26 they scored on LA, their previous high. 49ers, one of 2 teams to score 26 or more against them. Since that game, 3, 7, and 10. I'm not a Sudoku guy, not smart enough, so not sure what the next number is, but they've gotten stingier since facing San Fran.
Third down and 7, Shuck in trouble, down he goes.
Held the Saints to 10 points, 2 for 9 on 3rd down, still second in points per game allowed to Houston at 15.9. Mac or Brock looking at a secondary holding quarterbacks to the 6th lowest rate at 84 even, 6.4 yards per attempt allowed, only 2 teams holding quarterbacks to a lower figure, picked off Tyler Shuck just 176 yards.
Shuck is picked off. Could not find a receiver.
31 yards and a TD to tight end Juwan Johnson, 57 yards allowed to Chris Olave, 68 to Rashid Shaheed. San Francisco's pass yards split between 8 guys versus the Giants. George Kittle, 32 yards. Bourne, 34. Juwan Jennings, 41 and a touchdown.
Right on the screws, Juwan Jennings, touchdown.
Leader guy in receiving yards last week and lots of weeks, CMC, who scored through the air 67 yards.
McCaffrey from Jones, oh, he's got room to roam. 39-yard catch and run.
McCaffrey added 106 rush yards and a touchdown to that, too.
Pitch, McCaffrey wheels, got another block in there by Hennessy. And he's down to the 10.
Second 100-plus yard game for Christian in his last 3, but another game under 4 yards per carry, 7 of 9 now. Rams held New Orleans' rush attack to 57 yards, only faced 14 attempts, holding teams under the precious 4 yards per carry marker for 2025.
There's Kamara.
Oh, they're saying fumble.
Rams say they have it.
LA's front, which is loaded, only 1 sack and just 2 QB hits last week. Braden Fisk with the lone bag. Jones dropped twice on 24 pass attempts, 18 sacks taken in 9 games. They can live with that. More than Matthew Stafford has taken. He's only met the grass 13 times, twice in their Week 9 win, which didn't slow him down. 280-plus yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, a 140 rate, 24 for 32 for 8.8 yards per attempt.
Stafford, Adams, touchdown.
It's just frankly been too easy for Matthew Stafford.
Niners taking on a dude with 9 touchdowns in his last 2 games, trying to slow an offense that's put up 34 and 35 points in its last 2. 7 for 14 on 3rd down versus the Saints, 4 for 5 inside the 20.
Stafford looking for Adams in the end zone. He's got it. 4th touchdown pass today for Stafford.
Rams offense and defense both top 10 in scoring. Niners defense up there too, 20 points per game allowed, good for 9th lowest.
Outside they go. It was an avalanche of defenders, not a lot of breathing space.
Gave up 24 to the Giants, though. 7 in garbage time, but like they say, they weren't trying to let them score, even if it was some second stringers. They held Jackson Dart to 191 yards, just 5.8 yards per attempt.
And Dart to the end zone. Oh, he had it. I think it was jarred, crowbarred out by Brown.
Didn't pick him off, though, so only 1 INT for the year still. 2 TDs allowed, 107 rate, only 2 sacks on 33 pass attempts, which is notable for a team that only has 11 sacks all year.
Into the defense of Lenore, and he dives. It is a touchdown. He got in.
Not only is Stafford hard to reach at home, they have Puka and Devontae to deal with this week. Nakua came back from injury, 7 catches, 95 yards, a score in his return.
Stafford fires downfield, caught, touchdown, Puka Nakua!
Adams scored twice, so that's 5 TDs in his last 2 games, tallied 60 yards versus New Orleans.
Stafford on 2nd and 1, wide open, it's Adams.
And the Rams tight end game. Colby Parkinson, 2 catches, 10 yards. Tyler Higbee, 3 catches, 13 yards and a touchdown. Davis Allen, 3 catches, 37 yards. Terrence Ferguson, 2 catches, 54 yards.
Stafford's pass is caught. Terrence Ferguson, number 18, gains 18.
Ground game comes barreling into Blake Corum, 58 yards, 4.5 a carry last week. Kyron Williams, 114 yards, 4.6 a run, plus a TD.
Kyron Williams forces the defense to get off track to make a play.
Kyron, 4.6 or better, 5 of his last 6. Niners defense gave up 4.6 to him in their win over LA, but came up big against him twice late. Not so much against the Giants runners. 56 yards and a TD, 7 yards per carry to Dart on his scrambles, gave up 5.4 a carry to Devin Singletary, 43 yards.
Dart here, Singletary a block, and here a touchdown run for the G-Man.
49ers Rams, a thing since 1950, twice a year ever since. Twice met in the postseason. First time, 1989. Winner gets a ticket to some bowl.
Against the Rams, Ronnie Lott single-handedly performed a rescue mission when the contest was still up in the air.
Anderson and Ronnie Lott up there just in the nick of time.
The Rams were pulverized by a punishing pass rush and a power running attack. And Montana threw for 2 scores to become the NFL's all-time leader in postseason touchdown passes. In a 30-3 win, All-Pro place kicker Mike Kofer kicked 3 second-half field goals, and inspiration was provided on the sideline by the presence of Jeff Fuller.
I told you I was doing it for you all year. You know that, man.
Houston Texans back at home, sitting on a 3-5 record, and now having to go without their starting quarterback. Jacksonville Jaguars in town. Raiders tried to go all in on them at the tables last week. Jags called their bluff.
For the win, knocked away, and the Jags defense swats it away to secure a 1-point win on the road.
Hey, if the house won every time, why would anyone go, right? They say Trevor Lawrence was battling an illness ahead of last week's game. An illness? Did he wake up on the strip with said illness? Did they make a movie with the illness as a title? Either way, he shook it off to punch in 2 TDs along the ground. Jacksonville's offense comes in off its second highest point total of the year. 30 points, 9 for 16 on 3rd down, converted 3 of 5 red zone chances.
On 4th and goal, reaching across, touchdown! Trevor Lawrence! The Jags have the lead in overtime.
Lawrence was a solid fantasy play in Week 9. Didn't really sparkle in actual football terms. No TD passes, 1 pick, just 6.5 yards per attempt. Remember, 7 is like the average. 73 rating.
Lawrence in trouble, throws, and it's intercepted.
He's been sub 75 on the rate dial back-to-back games, and against Houston's secondary, held to a 56 rate, no TDs, 1 pick back in Week 3. This is round 2 between these two. Jaguars took Houston in round 1. Jags defense was kind of the star of the game, holding Houston to 10 points, 4 for 13 on third down, 3 takeaways, picked off C.J. Stroud twice.
C.J. Stroud's pass is picked. Jordan Lewis with a snatch.
This time they get Miles Davis. Sorry, he played Jazz. Davis Mills, he plays quarterback and will go as Stroud recovers from a concussion. Didn't fare great off the bench last week. 137 yards, 4.6 per attempt, a 68 rating.
Mills going through his progressions. Pressure comes, dumps it short, almost intercepted by Hufanga.
So you have a backup quarterback starting for a points-challenged offense, 15 versus Denver, whose defense is top-notch, but they were only averaging 21 a game before last week. 3 for 17 on third down. That's been a weakness all year. 0 for 3 in the red zone.
Mills over the middle, deflected off the hand of Dalton Schultz, and it's incomplete.
Well, Jacksonville's defense just gave up 29 points and almost 31 to a Raiders offense that was second to last in points per game before facing Jacksonville.
Flips to Ashton Genty. And he'll get the first down. He'll get the touchdown.
That's 28 plus points allowed in 3 of their last 4. Let Vegas convert 3 of 4 red zone chances, 7 of 10 on third down. Again, not areas Vegas excelled in. And their secondary made Geno Smith finally look good. He's the INT leader, and they gave up 4 touchdowns to him, 280 plus yards, a 117 rate. Best game he's had all year.
Fires into the end zone. Touchdown.
Jacksonville's secondary sliding down the rating allowed chart lately. Geno threw 39 times. Their pass rush, 2 sacks. Josh Hines Allen with 1.5 at least. He had been quiet this year.
Is in trouble, and he's going to be sacked by Josh Hines Allen.
Jaguars last in sacks still after 9 weeks. Mills and Stroud took 2 sacks each versus Denver's #1 pass rush unit.
Mills, pressure comes, in trouble, down he goes.
It was a season high in sacks taken, and Denver's pass rush is cut different. But Stroud has taken 2 to 3 in every game but 1. Mills' options, when upright, Dalton Schultz, team high 77 yards last week.
Dalton Schultz on the run, inside the 15 of Denver.
He's been good for 60 plus in 3 of his last 4. Got Nico Collins back from injury, went for 75 yards in their loss.
Dropping it into Nico Collins. When in doubt, find your number 1.
Xavier Hutchinson, Jaden Higgins, Christian Kirk, all less than 31 yards in that game. Nick Chubb and Woody Marks under 35 yards along the ground, too. Jaguars defense did at least play running back Ashton Genty well in their shootout win. Held him to 42 yards, just 3.2 a carry.
Genty with a little fake jump, but I don't think he got the first.
Houston's defense was part of another loss where they felt the way Hamilton Porter did about Smalls. Held Denver to 18 points, 6 for 15 on third down, only let them inside the 20 once.
And it's blocked! The kick is blocked!
Offense is killing them. Lawrence and company still looking at the #1 scoring defense, Trev taking on the game's top secondary, still holding quarterbacks to the lowest rate after keeping Bo Nix to a 68 rate, just 173 yards, 4.7 yards per attempt. They picked him off.
And it's intercepted. Kalen Bullock with the pick for Houston.
Texans only 1 sack on 37 Knicks pass attempts, though it was a Will Anderson job. Has a bag in 3 straight.
Steps up under pressure and down he goes. To'o and Anderson combining to get the sack.
Lawrence only 1 sack taken versus Vegas. Max Crosby got to him. Used the time to hit Parker Washington for 90 yards.
Open at the 45. Parker Washington glides across midfield.
Washington caught 8 of 9 targets, led the team in looks. De'Ami Brown second with 7 targets, only 25 yards to show for them. Brian Thomas, the only other Jacksonville pass catcher with more than 32 yards versus the Raiders, left the strip with a pair of 5s.
Brian Thomas Jr., and he's still going all the way down to the 40.
He also left with a concussion, so wait and see on his status this week. The team left with Jacoby Myers too, though. Traded Vegas for him at the deadline, 50 yards per game this season, a 1,000-yard guy last year, 800 plus yards 3 years in a row prior to that.
Throwing and open is Jacoby Myers, inside the 30, down the sideline he goes.
Houston's DBs held Cortland Sutton to 30 yards, Troy Franklin to 27 yards on a fat 10 targets, allowed running back R.J. Harvey 51 receiving yards and a TD, gave up 61 yards on the ground to J.K. Dobbins, 4.1 a run isn't terrible though. Jacksonville ran for 151 yards versus the Silver and Black. 3 rush TDs. Travis Etienne led the way with 84 yards.
Travis Etienne with a 1st and goal.
Etienne 3.8 yards per carry. They only averaged 3.6 per in that win. Jags offense doesn't ever have to go far either to get in field goal range. Mr. 70-yarder set the NFL regular season record, Cam Little hitting from 68 in their win.
It's good! It's good from 68!
You've got to be kidding me.
Rewound to their classic 2012 OT shootout a few weeks ago, so let's see another good one. This time, it's your turn, Duval.
The Jags were in need of a fourth quarter comeback for the 2nd straight week, and Garrard provided it with his legs.
Across the 10 to the 9. David Garrard does it twice on this drive. Texans stack the line of scrimmage. David takes the snap. Now he's going to run again. David looking for room, tries to get to the outside. David's going to the end zone. Touchdown, David Garrard.
The teams played into overtime, and it set up Josh Scobie for his heroic sequel.
There's the snap. The placement, the kick from Scobie is up on the way, and he got it. Jaguars win it. They beat the Texans in overtime.
Washington Commanders hobble into Week 10 for what was supposed to be a huge rematch with Detroit. It won't be the same, more like if Tyson showed up expecting Holyfield and found Glass Joe instead.
Ugh.
Can't stand it. I really can't.
Nothing going right season for Washington takes another awful turn.
Lions, though, just took one to the chin from a little Mac type, so both teams trying to get back up off the mat.
1st down would win it. McCarthy throwing it. Nailed it! Oh, he caught it!
Strange to see a defense hold a quarterback to 143 yards, hold Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson all under 50 yards, hold the opposing offense to 4 for 12 on 3rd down, and still give up 27 points.
McCarthy looking, throwing, caught! Touchdown, Hawkinson!
Meantime, their own offense 24 points, with Jared Goff going 25 of 37 for 284 yards, 2 TDs, no picks, a 108 rate.
Throwing for Jamison Williams. He's got it! Diving to the end zone. Is he in?
The problems that they need to fix for this game: 5 for 17 on 3rd down, 1 for 3 in the red zone, lost 44 yards on 5 sacks taken.
3rd and 6. Pressure again. Goff is swallowed up whole.
Goff getting dropped behind the line of scrimmage, a recent problem. 4 sacks taken the week before, too. 4 to 5 taken in 3 of their last 4.
Pressured again, and he goes down.
The Washington pass rush he faces this week comes off a sackless outing. Only hit Sam Darnold once, allowed Seattle 38 points, 7 for 11 on 3rd down. Game was over at halftime, basically.
Darnold 9 of 9 on the night. Takes another shot, and it's caught by Arroyo for the touchdown!
Their secondary gave up 330 yards and 4 TDs to Darnold, a 141 rate.
What a smoking start to this game by Sam Darnold.
They lost corner Marshawn Lattimore for the year, gave up 2 TDs to Torrey Horton, 48 yards, a 60-yard TD to Cody White, 129 yards to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and now here comes Amon-Ra St. Brown, 97 yards versus Minnesota.
Over the middle he goes. There's Amon-Ra St. Brown. So reliable on 3rd down.
Sam Laporta also checked out with 97 yards last week, scored, giving him a TD in 3 of his last 4.
Laporta still on his feet and driving Vikings all the way to the end zone. He is in. Touchdown!
Detroit's rush duo comes in cold, though. David Montgomery, 40 yards, 3.6 a run. Jahmyr Gibbs, 25 yards, 2.8 per. Washington's defense did at least play Seattle's Kenneth Walker, and Zach Charbonnet, tough, held Seattle to 3.7 a try on the ground.
Pitch Charbonnet trying to get to the edge, and Washington won't let him do that.
Toking the rock wasn't a problem for Washington's offense. Pretty much everything else was in their loss to Seattle. Jaden Daniels, 72 rate, no TDs, 1 pick, just 153 yards. Offense only 14 points.
In some trouble here, wrapped up and brought down by Leonard Williams.
So it's Marcus Mariota taking on a Lions defense that held J.J. McCarthy to 143 yards, a low 80s rate, just 5.7 yards per attempt, picked him off.
McCarthy zips it over the middle. I think it's picked.
They're holding quarterbacks to a sub-90 rate for the season, have the second most sacks with 28, took McCarthy down 5 times, just 25 pass attempts, hit him 9 times.
McCarthy flips over, taken down. He had pressure up the middle and off the side.
Aiden Hutchinson with his 7th sack of the year. Jack Campbell had 1 and was also reminded that Sarcastaball rules still apply.
Very difficult and very technical, and I think the challenge I don't like about it is you take such a good defensive play and a bad offensive play by not picking up a pressure, and you reward the offense 15 yards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't want our kids getting hurt playing football, so let's make them wear tinfoil hats because it's the future and we shouldn't be so barbaric. Daniels, meantime, sacked 4 times by Seattle. Washington has given up 24 sacks in its 9 games.
In trouble and engulfed by Nwosu and Reed.
And while we're at it, we'll use a balloon instead of a ball. Washington's noteworthy pass catchers from their loss, 41 yards for Deebo Samuel.
Samuel has it, catch and run Deebo.
46 for Zach Ertz.
Daniels, who floats into Ertz. Across midfield into Seattle territory at the 48-yard line.
Terry McLaurin missed another game hurt. Even in a blowout loss, Washington ran 36 times, 157 yards, 4.4 a run. Jaden Daniels, 51 yards, 5.1 a carry, and a touchdown before he left hurt. Chris Rodriguez, 65 yards, 5.4 a carry, and a touchdown.
It is run up inside by Chris Rodriguez for a Washington touchdown.
Shine has worn off Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 12 attempts, 38 yards, 3.2 per. That's 4 straight under 3.7 a carry. Lions did give up 78 yards to Aaron Jones on 8.7 a run, so maybe that's an opening.
Give it to Aaron Jones. Got a big seam up the middle, and Jones all the way to midfield.
This matchup started out as Braves-Lions in 1932. Wish I had footage of their 7-5 game in 1938. From 1968 to 1997, 18 straight wins for the Redskins. Lions came oh so close in 1990. What a shootout.
Rutledge is back, 4th and 6. Over the top, he's got it complete to Clark. Spins at the 25 to the 20. Breaks a tackle to the 15. He's gone. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. What a comeback. It's unbelievable right
Gary Clark's touchdown cut the Lions' lead to 7. And with seconds remaining, Rutledge had a chance for the tie.
Rutledge on the draw. Back up to the 5. He's diving. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Oh, unbelievable. What a scoring book finish here. I can't believe it.
In overtime, Rutledge, who in a little over 2 quarters completed 30 passes for over 360 yards, led Washington to the most improbable of comeback wins.
Snap's a little low. Rutledge has got the hold. It kicks up. It's long enough. It's good. Redskins have beaten the Detroit Lions with one of the most dramatic comebacks we've ever seen.
How fitting. 2 win-challenged teams, both coming off byes. Cleveland Browns heading east to Jersey to take on the New York Jets, who the last time we saw them had just pulled off one of the best comebacks any football fan could ask for. Win it for Nick.
It's incomplete, and the Jets are going to do it here in Cincinnati.
Makes this a chance for Justin Fields to string together a couple of good outings. He's only averaging 155 yards per game passing, and he's had 3 games that he's clocked out with less than 50 yards through the air, prompting the criticism from upstairs. Those showings fit New York's 2025 offense, which has been bad on 3rd down, bad in the red zone, averaging only 21 points per game.
He didn't see it.
Fields never quite felt the pressure.
He was probably thinking, how about your track record putting a team together, buddy? But Fields has had some solid outings this season. Jets have gone for 27+ 3 times, 39 versus Cincinnati, their season high. Fields 244 yards, a 99 rate in that game, has had 99+ rate games 4 of 7 times, and hasn't thrown one pick.
Delivers first down Jets. Jeremy Ruckert slips the tackle.
And now he takes on a secondary that's given up a 98 rating to quarterbacks. Browns haven't given up a ton of passing yards by any means, just 182 per game, but they haven't faced a ton of attempts, have allowed 15 TD passes, giving up 7.3 per pass attempt.
He's throwing for the end zone, and back there the catch is made. Kayshon Boutte has 6.
Not a terrible group, just not dominant. Kind of like the defense as a whole, 23 points per game allowed, mid in the red zone, but not many teams holding offenses under 5 yards per play. They're one of them. Solid stuff on third down, and 10 takeaways in 8 games, nothing to sneeze at.
Intercepted right at the 41-yard line. Carson Schlesinger.
Have to see if corner Tyson Campbell plays, dealing with a concussion. He's played well for them after they traded for him. Denzel Ward has held his targets to a respectable 91 rate. Assuming Garrett Wilson's knee is okay, he missed their last 2 games, he'd be their top concern. Leads them with 6 catches a game, 65 yards per game, 4 TDs.
That is ridiculous catch.
That's one of the best individual efforts.
Rookie tight end Mason Taylor, second on the team with 30 yards per outing.
Fields over the middle completes back to the rookie tight end Taylor.
Fields didn't have Wilson or Josh Reynolds versus Cincinnati, utilized wide receivers Tyler Johnson, Isaiah Williams, Arian Smith, and tight end Jeremy Ruckert in their void. And running back Isaiah Davis, 44 receiving yards at plus 65 rush yards on 9.3 a carry after breaking off a 50-yarder.
This is Davis. Davis slips a tackle. Big chunk play, Davis!
New York's top offensive threat this year, Breece Hall, who hit the break off a 133-yard performance, 2 touchdowns, 7.7 a run, threw the game-winning TD, too.
Down the stretch, Hall, boy, thought about it, now tosses to the end zone, he's got Taylor!
Hall averaging 5 a run for the year, Fields 5.4, 41 rush yards per game.
You go back to where Justin Fields has been successful.
If rookie linebacker Carson Schlesinger is healed up from his hurt ankle, he'll be waiting. Leads Cleveland with 64 tackles. Browns holding running backs and quarterbacks in check along the ground this year. One of the hardest teams to tote the rock on.
Ball's out, and the Browns are on it. Bush came up with the recovery.
Fields, of course, has to worry about where Myles Garrett is at. 10 sacks at their break. No one had more. Found Drake May at home 5 times the last time we saw them play.
Here comes 2, step underneath, rip. Go get that ball.
Browns pass rush, top 5 in sacks. Jets quarterbacks, only one team had taken more sacks after 8 weeks. No team with a worse sack rate. See if Garrett goes after rookie Armand Membu like he did rookie Will Campbell. Membu has allowed a team-high 4 sacks.
He looked one way, a little confusion there. Fields brought down.
Browns quarterbacks know the feeling. 20 sacks taken, but only 11 blamed on the O-line. No one with more than 2.5 allowed. So their offensive ineptitude this year isn't really a big uglies issue, even if their offense has been ugly. 31 points versus Miami, 9 to 17 points the rest of the time.
On the move, end zone throw high and incomplete. Jerry Jeudy was back there.
Browns offense 15 points per game. Stacked against Jets defense giving up 27 per. They've allowed 27 plus in 6 of 8 games, only 1 takeaway all year.
Joe Flacco with a 44-yard home run pass.
Like Cleveland, New York's secondary isn't giving up a lot of passing yards per game, but also haven't faced a ton of attempts. They're giving up an even higher rate at 105, haven't picked off a single pass while giving up 15 passing TDs.
Threads the needle, Brown busts his way in for the touchdown.
This week, they try and stop rookie Dylan Gabriel.
Fires floating for his tight end. He's got it, and he's in.
Gabriel with 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 4 starts, a sub-80 rate, just 117 yards per game, no quarterback averaging fewer, so probably needs to spark something up soon or shh, don't jinx him. His top pass catcher, rookie tight end Harold Fannin, averaging 44 yards per contest.
Foot right here. Oh, you're going to go to Fannin. Bam! Step up there, knock him down.
Tight end David Njoku, second on the team with 37 yards per game. Jets have given up a 122 rate to tight ends, 6 touchdowns. Only a handful of teams giving up a higher rate to that position this season. Jerry Jeudy averaging 32 yards a game, hoping for the return of Cedric Tillman from injury. Browns top playmaker, a running back as well. Another rookie, Quinshon Judkins, 5 touchdowns, close to 70 yards per game, 4.1 a run.
Get up in here and make a tackle, and let's make you play football. Love that from the Cleveland Browns.
He'll see a lot of Jamian Sherwood, 75 tackles, third most at their break, but that hasn't led to great play versus the run for New York, who has allowed 4.5 a carry overall, 4.4 to running backs.
P-Right 10-5, touchdown!
Jets front with just 11 sacks too, bottom shelf stuff. Dog pound with 2 more wins than Gangrene in the all-time series. 1986 season, the one and only Jets-Browns playoff game, was a pretty good one too.
So here we are on the 3rd day of January, and there's no place on earth the New York Jets would rather be than on the banks of Lake Erie here at chilly old Cleveland Stadium, playing the Browns in the AFC semifinal.
All right, Russ! All right, baby! Cleveland's a really good team. I didn't think we were going to win. This is the Jets. They sucked me in. They go up by 10 points with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Fans in Cleveland Stadium hoping against hope.
All we need is a first down. We don't get that first down. The Browns had a big drive. They kicked a field goal.
It is good, and the game is tied.
It goes into overtime.
The left side slaughter is open. He got the ball at the 5-yard line.
The Browns line up for the game-winning field goal.
No, it's no good.
Mosley missed a sure shot.
I'm wiping off my tears. Refound hope. We go on to do nothing. They line up for a field goal in double overtime.
37-yard attempt. The kick is up. It is good. The Browns have won the game. Place is absolutely bedlam.
Minnesota Vikings at home Week 10 with a whole new outlook on the rest of the season.
First down would win it. McCarthy throwing it. Nailed it! Oh, he caught it!
Oh, yeah, big fella. That's it. That's how you lead your team to victory.
They host the Baltimore Ravens, who feel the exact same way. The flock's been singing Herbs and Peaches all week long, too.
Off the fake, deep drop, looks around, fires over the middle. Touchdown, Rashad Bateman.
If your team wears purple, you were humming it at least. Reunited, and it felt so good. Lamar Jackson behind the mic last week. Haven't seen a reunion click so smoothly since Tom DeLonge got back there with Blank. It was like Lamar was never gone. Casually went 18 for 23 versus Miami. 4 TDs, ho-hum 143 rate.
Pass is caught by Andrews for another touchdown. Gone for a month, he's back in full flower.
Lamar leads the NFL with a 136 rating, 14 touchdowns stacked against 1 lonely pick. Offense put up 28 points. It's been good for 28-plus points 2 in a row to bring their season average close to typical Jackson levels.
Lamar under pressure, wide open again, this time to number 88, Charlie Kolar for the touchdown.
Okay, well, across the way, it was J.J. McCarthy making his return from injury too. Didn't burst back onto the scene, but that dime to Jalen Naylor was a real beaut, Clark. Walked out with a couple touchdowns in his first action since week 2.
McCarthy looking, throwing, caught! Touchdown, Hawkinson!
Minnesota's offense racked up 27 points, which they've done in 2 of McCarthy's 3 starts.
Thinking about running, gonna try for it. McCarthy is in! Touchdown, Minnesota!
They hadn't cracked 23 points the 4 games prior to last week, but it should be noted McCarthy only threw for 143 yards in their win. In his 3 games, 143 yards twice, 158 in the other, just 5.7 yards per attempt versus Detroit, 1 pick, a low 80s rate, and he took 5 sacks on 25 pass attempts.
These Vikings quarterbacks have been dealing with pressure all season long.
Ravens pass rush racked up Tua twice last week. Only 11 sacks for the year, though, hasn't been a strength, which is why they traded for Draymond Jones, has 4.5 sacks on the season, coincidentally all coming in his last 4 games, 1+ in 4 straight, so he's on fire coming into this one.
Draymond Jones, Shrek for Halloween.
But the once battered Baltimore D is trending in the right direction as it gets healthier, have held their last 3 opponents under 18 points after holding Miami to 6, 2 for 12 on 3rd down, 0 for 3 in the red zone.
The Ravens are saying they got a turnover. Looks like they did.
They do.
That was the rookie Buchanan who knocked that out.
McCarthy drawing a secondary that hasn't been dinged by a quarterback in 3 straight. Kyle Hamilton back to his old self, playing the Haymon role to perfection. They held Tagovailoa to a 70 rate, no touchdowns, picked him off.
To a deep downfield, and it's going to be intercepted.
From blitzing linebacker to every corner spot and every safety spot on the field, Hamilton had like 7 jobs a game, man. So you could see him line up across from TJ Hawkinson. He caught a touchdown versus the Lions, only 11 yards. Jordan Addison, who led them with 48 yards.
Zips one downfield. It is caught! Addison came back to get it.
Or he could be in front of Jetta. Justin Jefferson helped produce a Jimmy Walker special versus Detroit. Danced, collected 47 yards.
McCarthy zips it to Jefferson, who makes the catch, falls down. Gets up, adds a few more.
Aaron Jones, 20 receiving yards, revved it up as a runner for the first time this season. 78 yards on 9 tries for a fat 8.7 a run.
Give it to Aaron Jones. Got a big seam up the middle, and Jones all the way to midfield.
Ravens front hasn't excelled against the run. 4.6 yards per carry allowed to running backs after giving up 67 yards on 4.8 a run to Devon Achane.
And the ball left here. Big hole and exploited here by Achane.
Stopping the run, a bigger concern for the Vikings defense in all likelihood. Lamar didn't use his legs for much versus the Finns, baby steps. And when you have Derrick Henry heating up, you can afford to take her easy. Henry, 119 on the ground, 6.3 a carry, his second 100-plus yard outing in his last 3.
Giving it to Henry. Henry around the corner. Henry off to the races. Henry gets tackled at about the...
Minnesota just faced Sonic and Knuckles, gave him the Jim Carrey treatment, faced 20 David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs rush attempts, 65 yards, held him to 3.3 per attempt.
Gibbs, he's taken down immediately by Javon Hargrave.
Their Week 9 play versus the run, better than their 2025 play versus the run. The secondary Lamar takes on gave up 2 TDs to Jared Goff, no picks, a rating allowed of 108.
Throwing for Jameson Williams. He's got it! Diving to the end zone. Is he in?
Haven't played passing games great in 2025, so their play versus Goff fit their body of work. They gave up 24 points to Detroit. That's not horrible, but not in the great range. And they've given up 24-plus points in 4 of their last 5.
Still on his feet and dragging Vikings goal into the end zone. Touchdown!
They also held Detroit to 5 for 17 on 3rd down, 1 for 3 in the red zone. That pass rush of theirs tilting things in key moments all game long. They got to Goff 5 times. Javon Hargrave 1 bag. Eric Wilson blitzed his way to 2. They hit Goff a healthy 11 times.
3rd and 6. Pressure again. Goff is swallowed up whole.
Minnesota with the 2nd highest blitz rate in the NFL this year. Lamar, 9 TDs against 5+ pass rushers, only 1 pick, a league high 136 rate, so buyer beware.
Lamar Jackson, his eyes must have lit up.
Minnesota's DBs gave up 66 yards and a TD to Jameson Williams last week, 97 yards, 9 catches to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ravens' air game is a Flowers and Company arrangement. Zay, the one constant, 64 receiving yards last week, 63 to 74 in 4 of his last 5.
Making the grab, cutting inside, tackled to the 10-yard line, Zay Flowers.
Rashad Bateman, 2 catches, 13 yards, a touchdown versus the Dolphins. He's been under 25 yards 6 of 8 games. Ravens also gave up 97 yards and a touchdown to tight end Sam Laporta. Lamar leaned into his tight ends versus Miami. Charlie Kolar, 2 catches, 23 yards and a TD. Mark Andrews with a pair of paint jobs. Isaiah Likely, second behind Flowers with 60 yards.
Lamar gets away. Lamar throws, finds wide open Isaiah Likely.
4-3, flock up on Purple People Eaters. That's it. Just 7 games featuring the two. First meeting was a pretty good one, too.
At Baltimore, the special teams generated valuable points as David Palmer became the first Viking to return a kickoff or a touchdown in 10 years.
Palmer breaks into the clear at the 40, at the 45, at the 50, at the 45. Palmer at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Vikings.
Gary Anderson added 6 field goals, in the process breaking the consecutive field goal mark of 31. By year's end, he would extend his streak to 40, capping off a season for the ages.
Arizona Cardinals back on the road for a second week in a row. Maybe not a bad thing as they just snapped their 5-game losing streak away from home.
Brissett lets it fly. End zone, McBride, touchdown.
They are in Seattle to face a Seahawks team on a 3-game win streak, winners of 6 of their last 7, and looking more and more like a team that can take it all.
Darnold taking a shot downfield. Open again is Horton for a touchdown.
Only one team in the NFL is top 5 in scoring and top 5 keeping teams from doing so, and that team is the only one that plays in the Northwest. Hawks soaring in as high as any team in the NFL heading into Week 10. Sonic and Knuckles, Batman and Robin, Scooby and Shaggy, all of them can step aside because the Sam Jackson duo is where it's at.
Darnold throwing sideline. Smith and Jigba's got it. The top receiving yardage season thus far in the NFL.
Darnold found Smith and Jigba last week for 129 more yards. That's 4 straight 100-plus yard games, pocketed C-notes in 6 of his 8 outings, knocking on the door of 1,000 yards already.
Stays perfect. Smith and Jigba out of bounds.
Smith and Jigba's low so far, 79 yards. The team that held him to that, the one he plays this week. Close game too, but Seattle prevailed 23-20 back in Week 4. Darnold with 240-plus yards, a touchdown, no picks, a 111 rate.
Good protection, man open, caught, touchdown.
That was one of Darnold's 5 100-plus rate games, put up another one versus Washington. Fat 141 rating, built off 21 of 24 passing, 4 TD passes, 330 yards, 13.8 yards per attempt. That's silly high.
Darnold 9 of 9 on the night, takes another shot, and it's caught by Arroyo for the touchdown.
Seattle averaging 28.9 points per game after sticking Washington with 38, 7 for 11 on third down, an area they've struggled some with. They become even scarier if they move the sticks on the regular because they're elite at cashing in when they reach the 20.
End zone, touchdown, Torrey Horton.
They try and keep it rolling against a Cardinals defense that just faced the 4th highest scoring offense and held it to 17 points. Held them to 1 for 3 in the red zone, took the ball away from the Cowboys 3 times.
Javonte Williams, strong tackle on the edge by the rookie Will Johnson. Ball is out and recovered by Akeem Davis-Gaither.
Zona holding teams to 21 a game, right outside top 10 status, and they are top 10 in rating allowed after holding Dak Prescott to a 77 rate. Only 1 touchdown picked him off, 6.5 yards per attempt allowed, which is what they've held all quarterbacks to for the year, only 4 teams ahead of them.
That ball's up for grabs and dropped.
Their pass rush really stepped it up. Bagged Dak 5 times, Walter Nolan with 1, Calais Campbell with 2, has 5 now for the year. Josh Sweat with a pair, leads the team with 7.
Prescott in trouble and sacked by Sweat. his second of the night.
Can they replicate that showing? They were averaging less than 2 a game before that bout, and Darnold's line didn't let Washington sack him once. Only got hit once, left the game as the least sacked quarterback in the NFL in 2025.
3rd and 5. Darnold throws it in the middle and is caught by Smith and Jigba.
Arizona's DBs gave up 50 yards to tight end Jake Ferguson, 79 to George Pickens, 85 to CeeDee Lamb. Dak did throw for 250 yards trying to play catch-up. Aside from JSN, they have Torrey Horton to track. He pulled in 2 TD passes versus Washington, 48 yards.
2 drives, 2 touchdowns by the rookie Horton.
Horton with 5 touchdowns this season. Cooper Kupp didn't play. Have to wait and see if he can make a go of it. If Sammy D feels the need for speed, he can now turn to Rashid Shaheed, who Seattle traded the Saints for, averaging 55 yards per game in 2025, a couple of touchdowns. Beefy numbers when you consider New Orleans' offense this year.
He's got him. Shaheed down the sideline. 10-5 touchdown. There's the home run ball.
Cody White caught 1 ball, a 60-yard TD.
All the way, Cody White for the touchdown, the first of his NFL career.
No other Hawks last week with 30-plus yards. Tight end Elijah Arroyo, 29 yards and a score. Tight end A.J. Barner, 24 yards. Zach Charbonnet, 21. Kenneth Walker, 19. So Darnold made good use of everyone.
Pitched it forward to Charbonnet as Charbonnet takes it inside the 35.
Walker and Charbonnet didn't do much as runners. Walker 42 yards, 3.8 a carry. Arizona gave up 5.5 a run to Javonte Williams in their win, 83 yards.
Back to the run, Javonte Williams with a big carry.
Walker picked up 81 yards on 4.3 a pop when he faced Arizona. A game that Kyler Murray started. He did not play last week, and once again, Arizona's offense was more potent. 27 points with Jacoby Brissett behind center, 7 for 13 on 3rd down, 3 for 4 in the red zone.
Lets it fly. He's got Harrison again.
Murray's Cardinals averaging 20.6 per game. Brissett's averaging 25.6 a game. He threw for 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INTs versus Dallas, a 115 rate.
Low snap, quick throw, wide open is Harrison down the sideline.
260 plus yards in all 3 of his starts. Murray's high, 220, has 100 plus rating game. Brissett has put up back-to-back C-note rating games. The Hawks defense he would face, nothing like Alice's, holding teams to 18 a game after keeping Washington to 14.
Brought down as he was tied up in the pocket and finally closed in on. He ran out of space.
They're holding offenses to 4.7 yards per play, only 2 defenses harder to move the ball against, holding quarterbacks to 6.5 yards per attempt, an 83 rating, 5th lowest, after taking care of Jaden Daniels to the tune of no touchdowns, picked him off once, 72 rate, just 153 yards.
Watch the footwork here by a safety. Pretty incredible stuff.
Pass rush, 3rd most sacks after making it home 4 times to see Daniels. He only threw 22 times.
In trouble and engulfed by Nwosu and Reed.
2nd highest pressure rate for 2025, 2nd lowest blitz rate. Let that sink in. Brissett sacked 5 times by Dallas's pass rush, a group averaging less than 2 a game before playing Arizona. Brissett sacked 6 times the game before that, too.
Brissett is sacked. Back on the Arizona side of midfield.
Deebo Samuel, Zach Ertz, the only commander Seattle gave up 40-plus yards to, 41 and 46 yards, so wasn't much. Arizona's Trey McBride comes off a 55-yard shift.
Over the middle and wide open in a conversion. After the sack, McBride.
Michael Wilson tallied 61 yards versus the boys.
Back to the air. He's got Wilson inside Dallas territory and out of bounds near the 25.
And Marvin Harrison Jr., their 96 yards and a TD.
I mean, that's as good a release as you're going to see.
Their ground game in the hands of Bam Knight and Amari DeMarcado last week. Amari, the more effective of the two, 79 yards, 5.6 a run.
And he's able to get down to stay in bounds and keep the clock running.
Seattle gave up 51 yards and a touchdown to Jaden Daniels, 65 yards on 5.4 per attempt, plus a score to Chris Rodriguez. They are 1st in yards per carry allowed for the year, but last week not quite as stout, not that it mattered.
It is run up inside by Chris Rodriguez. for a Washington touchdown.
Seattle's earlier win this year puts their win streak over the Cardinals at 8 straight. Cardinals won the first 5 meetings between the two. It wasn't until 1998 that the 12s got a taste of victory over their feathered friends.
Touchdown tosses from Moon to fullback Max Strong and Galloway put the heat on Arizona. And then the defense provided the finishing touches with 7 sacks and 3 interceptions, giving Seattle its first ever victory over the Cardinal franchise.
Here's Jake Plummer having to start from his own 6-yard line. Goes up the far sidelines, intercepted! Picked off by Willie Williams at the 25, to the 20, to the 10, touchdown Seattle!
The one win, New Orleans Saints on the road again, new quarterback last week, same results on a 4-game losing streak as they hit Carolina, who's on a 4-game Bryce Young win streak.
It is good! And the Panthers pull off the upset.
Yeah, Buffalo, you're lucky you caught them without 9, but no, Young wasn't really why the Panthers pulled off an upset over Green Bay to get to 5-4, had more to do with their defense and Hangle McCringleberry. Everyone rise and salute, please. Into the game preview guy Hall of Fame with you, Rico Dowdle. Think he genuinely thought, as long as I don't do it 3 times, I won't get flagged?
1, 2,
So they're going to get him for the excessive celebration. Shout out to our friend Keegan-Michael Key and the great Jordan Peele.
Dowdle has been en fuego since taking over as starter. 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.2 a run versus Green Bay.
He's got speed. He runs the 40 in faster than 6 seconds, I can tell you.
He's hit at 4.6 or better in 5 straight. And now he gets a Saints defense that just gave up 114 yards on 4.6 a run, plus a touchdown to Kyron Williams, 58 yards on 4.5 a carry to Blake Corum.
This is Corum, first down and more, inside the 40 on the Saints.
They had been tougher on running backs prior, but not really against other positions. Gave up 4 TDs to Matthew Stafford, 280 plus yards, a 140 plus rate, only 3 teams allowing a higher rating in 2025. Gave up 34 points to the Rams, brought their season average up to 27 a game allowed.
Fires downfield, it is caught! Touchdown! Puka Nacua!
They could get right versus Carolina's offense, who's thinking we could get right against the Saints' defense. Young only threw for 102 yards versus Green Bay, 5.1 per attempt, no touchdowns, 1 pick, a sub-50 rate. Panthers' offense just 16 points, bringing their average down, and it was already low.
Toe-tapping interception, and Matt LaFleur's defense gets a takeaway.
Young only took 1 sack, no yards lost, 20 pass attempts. He's only finished a game with 200 plus yards once in 8 starts. Tet McMillan, their WR1, only guy with more than 23 yards for the Panthers last week, finished with 46.
McMillan just gets better and better. They're starting to move him around a little bit more.
Carolina's defense, as we mentioned, the co-star in their upset win over the Cheeseheads, holding them to 13 points, held them to 1 for 5 in the red zone.
Yeah, Malik Heath, he just kind of gets run through there.
They have been tough inside the 20 all year, which has helped them keep teams to 22 a game at least. Not great, but not terrible, and maybe enough when they take on a Saints offense that scratched out 10 points versus LA, 2 for 9 on 3rd down, 1 for 3 in Scott Hansen's Casa. They're second to last in 2025 at 15 points per game.
And Emmanuel Forbes comes up with the interception.
So, rookie Tyler Shuck didn't really spark much up, 176 yards and a pick, but let's try and be positive. 81 rating in his first ever start versus a top-notch Rams defense, over 7 yards per attempt, threw for his first NFL TD.
Shuck throws, caught, taken into the end zone for a touchdown.
Chris Olave went for 57 yards with the rookie.
Throws, it is caught on the run. by Chris Olave.
They get a Panthers secondary that gave up 91 yards to Romeo Doubs, 58 to Christian Watson, 273 to Jordan Love overall, but they picked him off. No TDs, held him to an 80 rate, and they're holding quarterbacks under 90 for the year, so it wasn't fluky.
Give his guys a chance to go up and compete. That time, it really turned into triple coverage.
They aren't a sack-happy bunch, only got to Love once, only 14 bags for the season. Shuck only took 1 sack in that loss. But another game without much of a rush attack. Taysom Hill led them with 30 yards. Alvin Kamara, 6 attempts, 14 yards. Under 32 rush yards, 5 straight games. Gonna have to answer to the Bob soon. What is it you say you do here?
For extra yards, Nate Landman punches right at the football.
Carolina gave up 5.1 a run to Josh Jacobs, a touchdown, 87 yards. Stopping the run hasn't been their specialty most games. But this is a big game for the Cats. Chance to get to 6 wins, plus another game versus the Saints later. Who dat, 32-29 over keep pounding overall. 2008, the best game between the two? What do you think? It was pretty good.
To make history, Breeze would need to throw for over 400 yards for the 3rd time in 2008. A 20-point deficit to the Panthers provided the setting for number 9 to go airborne.
Now, given this posture, they're going to be throwing on almost every down, and perhaps eventually Drew Brees can threaten that record, needing 402 yards passing. Pass to Moore, spins off the tackle, and he'll score! Great job by Lance Moore. Brees throwing back in the end zone, leaping grab, touchdown, Lance Moore. Brees needs 16 more yards. The drama about this season comes down to the final tick of the clock. Brees gunning the ball downfield, and it is incomplete. So that's how the season ends, with the Saints that short on the scoreboard, with Drew Brees that short of Dan Marino's record.
Miami Dolphins at home this week. 2-7 record makes them a theoretical layup for a team like the Buffalo Bills, who are back at the top of everyone's expectations list after making a statement against the Kansas City Chiefs.
All the way down to the 5, and it's knocked down incomplete.
I know, there are no layups in the NFL, but that's what Miami looked like versus the Josh and James show back in Week 3 when they played in Buffalo. Allen threw 3 touchdowns, put up a 134 rate. Cook ran for a score, 100-plus rush yards. Bills cruised to a 31-21 victory.
Outside to Shakir. Inside the 10, Shakir all the way in.
The Allen-Cook duo, on par with Hen and Chewy at this point. They used the same recipe to take out the Chiefs. Allen, 270-plus yards, a fat 10.5 yards per attempt. A touchdown, no picks, a 123 rate.
Finds the man in space, and here he goes, Kincaid.
Josh punched 2 touchdowns in down low, too. Allen, 100-plus rate games in 6 of 8. Cook, 100-plus rush yards in 5 of 8 after smacking Kansas City with 114.
Get there, he's got 14. That's the first running back. Take a seat.
Cook still first in yards per carry and yards per game for the season. Bills' offense still as potent as it gets, 28 points versus the Chiefs, 4th in scoring in 2025, 28-plus points in 6 of 8, 4th best at moving the sticks.
Throws it, tosses it, it's Cook. They've got their first down and he stays in bounds.
Bills went for 31 points versus Miami in round 1. The Dolphins gave up 28 to Baltimore last week, giving up 27 for the year, so all of that fits.
Watch this window that he has to get this ball out. Right there.
Miami's pass rush, 2 sacks of Lamar didn't matter much, have 17 bags for 2025, very average, and they traded away Jalen Phillips. Secondary Allen gets, gave up a 143 rate to Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
And now he's going right here. Sees man coverage. Watch the adjustment here by Bateman.
Still the highest rate and completion percent allowed to quarterbacks on the year. 10 guys caught an Allen pass versus Kansas City. Keon Coleman, just 17 yards. Elijah Moore, 28. Dawson Knox, 30. Khalil Shakir, 43. Led them in targets with 8.
Said, how many times have they thrown the ball to Shakir in the last 2 outings?
Yeah. Dalton Kincaid had 6 targets, so most of the action to him and Shakir. Kincaid caught all 6 for 101 yards and a TD.
Finds the man in space, and here he goes, Kincaid.
Cook, meantime, not facing a defense playing the run well, got gashed by Derrick Henry, allowing 5 a run to ball carriers overall.
Obviously, if you're a defensive back, you just don't want to end up on SportsCenter.
Bills offense not the only unit flexing ahead of this game. Buffalo holding Kansas City to 21 points. They had been good for 28 plus in 5 straight before the Bills cooled them off.
What a job by Bishop.
They held Kansas City to 3 for 13 on 3rd down, held Patrick Mahomes to 15 of 34 passing, no touchdowns, picked him off, held him to a sub-60 rate.
Bosa closes the edge, and Mahomes knows he's got to let it go, couldn't find everyone.
Mahomes was hot entering that game, too. Tua Tagovailoa is not. Buffalo's secondary faces the NFL INT leader this week. Tua bumped his pick total to 11 with 1 versus Baltimore, no touchdowns, a 70 rate, sub-71 rating games in 3 of his last 4.
Very, very unique talent, really has corner skills. Playing back there at safety.
Tag's subpar play as of late has shown up on the scoreboard as you'd expect. For the second time in 3 weeks, they left work with just 6 points. 0 for 3 in the red zone versus Baltimore, 2 for 12 on 3rd down, turned the ball over 3 times. They lead the NFL in giving it away.
And away they go. And it's going to be with nobody around in the end zone.
Having pass attempts thwarted by sacks hasn't really been a problem either. Tua took 2 sacks last week on 40 pass attempts, 0 to 2 sacks taken in 6 of their last 7. Bills were all over Mahomes, caught him 3 times, hit him 15 times. That's a lot. Joey Bosa with 1 and a fat 5 QB hits.
In trouble again, and they got him. Joey Bosa.
Buffalo's DBs gave up 66 yards to Travis Kelce, 73 to Hollywood Brown, 80 to Rashee Rice. Now they turn their sights on Jalen Waddle, led Miami Week 9 with 82 yards, 80-plus yards for the Penguin in 4 of his last 5.
In Ravens territory, Waddle again to the 39-yard line on the big first down.
They had Greg Dulcich go for 49 yards.
I'm feeling that. Look how quickly that ball is out. Well before his tight end even turned.
Malik Washington chipped in 48.
Breaking a tackle. Nice gain all the way out to the 35-yard line. Malik Washington.
And Devon Achane with 39 receiving yards, 67 rush yards on 4.8 a carry, hitting at a nice 5 a pop for the season.
To lineman, look at Brewer, that's the center. Gets up on the rookie Buchanan. Good hard running.
Buffalo gave up 49 yards to Kareem Hunt on 4.5 a carry, but held Kansas City to 79 yards total, 4 per attempt. Buffalo has taken Miami in 7 straight after beating them a few weeks ago, so 14 of the last 15 now. 1990 season, first ever playoff meeting, they both lit the scoreboard up good.
Division rival Miami Dolphins, back for their second visit in 4 weeks. And most important, quarterback Jim Kelly.
Shotgun, back to pass, the blitz is on, he throws, he's got a man, Reed, at the 20, down to the 15, to the 10, 5, touchdown, Andre Reed!
The Bills' hurry-up offense scored the first 5 times it had the ball.
The Bills have been unstoppable so far. They have been a scoring machine in the snow at Rich Stadium.
The Bills frolicked in the elements all day. And when the Dolphins were never able to solve Buffalo's offense, the Bills put the game away in the 4th quarter.
LA Chargers are back in Hollywood after taking care of business against Tennessee. They've won 3 of their last 4 now.
Herbert rolls the pocket, now heads toward the end zone, slides in safely.
They host the Pittsburgh Steelers, who snapped a 2-game losing skid by making quite the statement.
That's popped up in the air and intercepted!
Just when you thought the Colts had something rolling, the Steelers defense comes back.
The curtain was open back-to-back weeks. Pittsburgh's defense giving up 33 and 35 points weeks 7 and 8. Then they get the number 1 scoring offense and pulled it shut, holding the Colts to 20 points, taking the ball away 6 times.
Jones, ball gets knocked away!
And another takeaway for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
3 fumbles, 3 picks. That brought their season average down to 24 points per game, so they hope it's the start of a new trend, but they get an energized Bolts offense that's been good for 24-plus points in 4 straight games, 27-plus in 3 of the 4 after slapping Tennessee with 27.
Right side off the play fake, Herbert looking to throw, pass is complete, touchdown, Chargers!
That brought their season average up to 23.9 per game, aka the respectable zone. Justin Herbert threw a pick 6 versus Tennessee, countered it with a couple of touchdowns, 250 yards, 8.6 yards per attempt, lots of big downfield throws. Should be calling him Megatron with that cannon, right over 100.
Herbert going to the end zone for Johnston, he's got it! This is a dime.
Just saying, it makes more sense. Calvin's arm wasn't really the focus. They messed that up. Now he tries to blow some holes into a Pittsburgh secondary that hasn't shined in 2025, but sparkled versus Daniel Jones, picking him off 3 times, held him to a season low 63 rating. 13 passes defensed, Joey Porter with 4. Don't see those kind of digits for PDs often.
Jones, intercepted! Joey Porter Jr. says good night.
Gave up boatloads of yards to him, but faced 50 pass attempts, 115 yards allowed to Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce, 57 and a TD to Josh Downs. The 3 wideouts they take on this week, Keenan Allen, 41 yards last week.
He throws to his left, Keenan Allen's got a first down inside the 30-yard line.
Ladd McConkey, 56 yards, 56 to 100 yards in each of his last 4.
Goes to McConkey, and McConkey is able to stretch it across midfield.
After getting ghosted the week prior, Quentin Johnston caught a touchdown along with 50 yards.
And to get the feed in, credit Johnston for the adjustment there. Big time grab.
And Pittsburgh's DBs can't forget rookie tight end Oronde Gadsden, led the way with 68 yards versus Tennessee, 68-plus yards in 4 straight now.
To the near side, Gadsden's got it along the sidelines, close to the 5-yard line.
Herbert's O-line, holy voodoo doll Batman. Who is it that has the beef with their big uglies? Both their tackles left hurt, and that's a group that has relied on backups all year as it is. Herbert got planted 6 times. He's taken 29 sacks for the year. Only 4 teams have allowed more.
Herbert's under pressure again. Herbert is going down.
Good thing Pittsburgh doesn't have good edge rushers.
They get to the QB again with Highsmith.
Okay, other than Alex Highsmith, who buried Jones twice. And fine, TJ Watt, who pulled the sack, forced fumble, fumble recovery, triple play. Pittsburgh smacked Indiana Jones 5 times with snakes. Most anyone had gotten to him, forced 2 fumbles.
Get to the ball, recover the ball. The holy trifecta for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh's aggressive pass rush didn't come at the expense of poor run defense either. Held the league's top running back, Jonathan Taylor, to 45 yards, just 3.2 per carry.
Back-to-back Taylor, he gets hit from behind by Watt, and then driven backwards.
LA's Kamani Vidal had another who are you game, 30 yards, 2.5 a try. He's ping-ponged between 100-plus yard games and duds in his last 4. Jarrett Patterson was more efficient on his 9 tries, 44 yards, 4.9 per carry. Herbert, though, led the team with 57 ground yards, plus finished 1 off.
He pumps a few times. Now he runs. He hasn't run all day, but he's going to run for the first down and more.
Pittsburgh's offense managed just 38 total rush yards in their win. They didn't really move the ball much, didn't have to with so many short fields. Their 27 points last week a reflection of that defense more than anything else.
Fighting at the goal line! And the Steelers cash in.
4 for 12 on 3rd down, 3 for 6 in the red zone, averaging 25 a game big picture, which is good stuff. Chargers defense, holding teams to 21 a game in 2025, held Tennessee to 6 points.
Ward steps up, he's sacked. Sacked again. Absolutely smothered.
Pick 6 and a special teams touchdown, accounting for 14 of the 20. 1 for 9 on third down, only 2 trips to the red zone. Held Cam Ward to 145 yards passing, a 78.5 rate. I know that doesn't mean much, but they have the second lowest rate allowed this year, at 78.5. Odd. He wasn't the first quarterback they've bottled up, though.
Steps up to the pocket, throws it short, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Aaron Rodgers up next. 203 yards, a touchdown, no picks, 95 rate versus Indianapolis.
Rodgers lets it fly. Catch, turn, touchdown!
Rodgers was on a 4-game run of 100-plus rate games before last week. DK didn't have his way at all. Metcalf 6 yards versus the Colts. Tight end Darnell Washington and wide receiver Calvin Austin, the only Steelers to crack 40 yards. Austin led them with 56.
Calvin Austin's going to come underneath and have just open grass. Catch, turn, run.
Washington 43. Rodgers hit tight end Pat Freiermuth for his touchdown. On the sack front, he took 3 in their win.
Rodgers, pump, and Rodgers is sacked.
LA's pass rush bagged Ward 4 times. Odafe Owe with 2, Tuli Tuipulotu with 1, and Dion Henley with one of the most emotional sacks you'll ever see. Lost his brother earlier in the week.
0 for 4 on third down. Pressure's coming, and Henley takes him down.
LA's pass rush, 1 sack behind Pittsburgh's on the season. Their run defense hasn't been as good in 2025. Gave up 56 yards to Tony Pollard, only ran 10 times.
Pitch it to Pollard, who gets to the edge, and Pollard is out of bounds.
Steelers beat the Chargers last year. 1982 put on a great show in the wild card round.
But the opening moments of the contest were the stuff of which nightmares are made. The Chargers would have to regroup, and quickly. No Three Rivers visitor had rushed for 100 yards in over 5 years. But Chuck Muncie bowled over that benchmark, and Steeler tacklers as well. Trailing 28-24 with a minute to play, the Chargers put the finishing touches on the most exciting playoff game of 1982.
South, play action fake, rolling to the right, throws it back, Winslow's at the 10, at the 5, Winslow scores!
Philadelphia Eagles rested after a week off. They hit the road looking to make it 3 wins in a row. They are in Green Bay. Cheeseheads feeling like Ricky Ricardo again. Packers, you have some splaining to do.
Into the win! It is good!
Wow. 13-10 to Cleveland, then a 16-13 loss to Carolina at Lambeau. Sure, the Panthers are 5-4 now, but still, they expect more from Jordan Love. He didn't find a way against the Panthers, an 80 rating, no touchdowns, 1 pick.
Love taking another deep shot into double coverage, underthrown to Trayvon Merrick.
Packers offense, 13 points versus a Carolina defense that was giving up 24 a game ahead of the matchup. Their biggest problem a week ago, inside the 20, where they went 1 for 5.
Back of the end zone, incomplete, it's 4th down.
And the red zone struggles just continue for Green Bay.
It's only the second game Green Bay hasn't scored 27-plus points. Only the second game Love's finished with a sub-90 rate. Now on to an Eagles defense that hit its bye as a member of the middle-of-the-pack club. Great inside the 20, but 23 points per game allowed, and pretty easy to move the sticks against.
Dart beat the blitz, Scatterbo on the receiving end, and the Giants are in for 6.
Love only took 1 sack in their Week 9 loss, 37 pass attempts. Philadelphia's pass rush only averaging 2 sacks a game. Low sack percentage too, which is why they traded for Miami's Jalen Phillips. Love, though, faces a tough secondary either way. Cooper DeJean holding his targets to an 86 rating. Quinyon Mitchell, 73 rate, 8 passes defensed. The team overall holding quarterbacks to a nice low 81 rate, keeping them to just 6.7 yards per attempt.
Good try, but incomplete. Had his hand on it, but Quinyon Mitchell on him like glue.
10 Packers caught Love's balls. Tucker Kraft only 20 yards after leaving hurt. He's done for a while, too. That's a big loss. Rookie Matthew Golden left that game injured as well. Christian Watson, 58 yards, 52 on one catch.
Pulled in! Christian Watson taking the top off.
Romeo Doubs, a season-high 91 yards on 7 receptions.
Wants to attack downfield. Floats one, and it's caught for a first down by Romeo Doubs.
Handoff game, a Josh Jacobs joint, of course. Lit it up for 87 yards and a TD. Nice 5.1 a carry versus Carolina.
Handoff, Jacobs, he's in!
That's 5 games in a row he's found the paint. Jacobs throwing bows with a front that's been tough on backs. Zach Bond leads the team with 64 tackles. They've held RBs to 4.2 a try, a little better than the league average of 4.4.
Tackled there by Zach Bond after no gain.
Eagles offense now, plenty capable of keeping up on the scoreboard if necessary. For all the clunkiness, Jalen Hurts has completed over 70% of his passes, hasn't ever finished a year over 70. Nice 114 rate, 14 TDs, only 1 pick.
Hurts sees it, loading up, going for a deep ball. It is caught!
Philadelphia's O-face, averaging 26 points a game. No team better inside the 20 for obvious reasons. No team with fewer turnovers. Smacked the scoreboard with 28-plus points the last 2 games in a row.
Wide open, touchdown, Philadelphia.
They could be way better on third down, though. Packers defense held Carolina to 16 and lost. That's twice. They've more than held up their end of the bargain and lost. 4 for 10 on third down. 5th opponent they've held under 19 points.
Young throws it quick, and it's incomplete. It's 4th down.
The secondary Hurts is trying to beat held Bryce Young to 102 yards, just 5.1 per attempt, no touchdowns, 1 pick, a 48 rating.
Young throws it quick, end zone shot, picked off. McKinney kept the feet in bounds.
They have a much tougher playmaker group on their hands this week. Philadelphia's offensive attack, a GNR outfit. It's 5 dudes that put on their show. Hurts is in theory the Axel of the band, but A.J. Brown seems to embody Rose a little more this season. Not super happy, hasn't shown up to some gigs, but when he does, man can he wail. 56 yards per game, 3 scores.
Going for A.J. Brown, caught at the 10, in for the touchdown. Hurts to Brown.
Devontae Smith, having a much more productive go of it, leads the team with 73 yards per game.
He wants Devontae Smith. He has it. Touchdown!
Suppose he's the Izzy. Dallas, you're Steven Adler. 41 yards per game, 7 touchdowns. No one with more receiving touchdowns when they hit their bye.
Hurts on the keeper on his own read. He's got a man wide open. It is Goddard who walks in.
Which leaves the top hat for Saquon. Finally looked the part of lead Axeman in their most recent game, going off for 150 yards.
Saquon Barkley! Uh-oh! Barkley! Goodbye! I guess the run game's back.
Was more Buckethead-like in most games, though, which isn't terrible, but it ain't Slash. Now he'll try and shred versus a Packers defense that gave up 130 yards and 2 TDs to Rico Dowdle. 5.2 a carry allowed.
Here's Dowdle, and he takes it into Green Bay territory with an excellent run.
Those dudes up front, just 1 sack of Young on his 20 pass attempts, only 2 QB hits, Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons shut out on both fronts. Hurts, 25 sacks taken in 8 games, so 3+ per game. Guard Landon Dickerson has allowed a team-high 4 sacks.
Giants bring heat. Hurts is going to get grabbed and brought down and sacked from behind.
Still, only 13.5 of the 25 sacks taken blamed on a Philadelphia O-lineman. So Hurts trying to extend things behind almost half of the QB takedowns they've suffered. And Jalen with 5 Bob Ross specials, most with a little help from his friends.
And it worked again.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Go, Pack, go. Met twice last year, of course. Philadelphia won both, won a playoff clash. We revisited their 2003 playoff bout last year, so let's hit their 2010 face-off this time.
The Eagles and Packers began the playoffs the same way they opened the regular season, facing each other in Philadelphia.
It's the playoff football, big boy.
Rolling right, throws end zone, diving grab Jones. He's got it, touchdown!
Aaron Rodgers is moving around. Samuel dropped the coverage a little bit. Aaron put where nobody but James Jones can get that ball.
With less than 2 minutes to play, Vic was closing in on yet another come-from-behind victory.